Yo, what is good, YouTubes? It's your boy Ray, and this is the Everyday City Carry. I have got the biggest get that I could get on this podcast. The voice that everyone knows. Ask the Nick, ask the chick, the good, the bad, the ugly. Nick Shabazz.
Hey, everybody, Nick here.
Get the jazz hands going.
Well, you know, I got to celebrate, right?
Welcome to the show, man. Thank you for doing it. This is a huge favor to me.
Yeah,
Cheers
no,
to you,
of
my
course.
friend.
I look forward to a day when I'm not the biggest get that you can get. And by the way, I still disagree with that, right? But anyways, how's life?
It's good, man. I mean, look, you are definitely like one of the most powerful forces in the knife community, whether you know it or not. I mean, that's true. That is true. And
it's nice weird to be a powerful force for once, right? You're making me sound like I'm SEAL Team 6 over here.
It's Hurricane Nick.
I'm fine. He's a Category 5 jackass.
I know, right? But you know, you just become the staple in the knife community, and people turn to you when they want to like really know what's what. And yeah, there seems to be no end to time, man.
I considering I didn't think there was a start. Sure, yeah. No end is just as plausible at this point.
Yeah, so how's YouTube life been? Has anything like changed for you? Or I watched a couple of your videos earlier.
I'm sorry.
I was like, no, they're so good. They're just as good as before. And in my head, I was like, I could watch so much tape on this, but it's like Nick is just doing the damn thing. He's still doing it. It's still good. It's still consistent. So like, has anything changed for you or?
Yes and no. I mean, since we last talked, not really. I've really been continuing to focus on trying to find really good stuff, right? And interesting, unique stuff. I mean, I'm busier than ever, both at work and on the review channel. And so, you know, I'm really focused in on trying to find the really good stuff at any price point, right? I mean, but yeah, aside from that, no, I'm just kind of keeping on, trying to keep the head in the game. You know, burned out a little bit. I admit that, but I'm slowly healing. Nature is beginning to heal, so to speak. And, you know, just trying to find, you know, really trying to find good stuff in what is actually kind of a really boring year in the knife world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm not growing out of it. Okay. That's definitely not it. But I'm not as hyped and excited for things I used to. But when I see something really cool, I'm like, wow, that's cool. You know,
yeah,
but there's less of those moments for me.
Yeah, but this is kind of like a guy sitting in the bottom of an outhouse saying, God, why is my suit so dirty? Like, dude, that's not you. Right? I mean, yeah. It's just been a really rough year in the pocket knife world. I feel like, you know, so many of the companies that very often have given us really cool new stuff have been, you know, Sprint. Hey, have a Sprint. Hey, did you know there's a pair of 3? You can get one, you know. You know, so much of that's been going on and rehashings of old models. It's been very, very slow this year, I feel like. And, you know, the budget churn keeps going. This has been one of the most boring years. I mean, and which is funny because everybody's sold out of everything. You know, they can't keep it in stock, but what's coming out is just like nada, really. I mean, there's some mildly interesting things happening, but really not that much, right? Yeah. Most of the cool stuff's in the budget range lately.
I would say that. You know, it's funny because that is actually one of the segments we're going to play. It has something to do with that. I have this new segment on the show called Sharp or Dull, and I will show you a picture of something.
Oh, no.
It's going to be a knife, and, you know, you're going to basically say sharp being good, dull being bad. Pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. I'm going to skip the questions for now. I'm just going to go. Okay, so this is the Benchmade. What is the Tengu Gold Class, right? Sharp or dull?
Honestly, the Tengu design never did it for me to start. And so to me, this feels sort of like you ever meet that guy who put like 15 grand in sound system upgrades into his mom's minivan?
Yeah.
I kind of that's the vibe I get here, where it's like, wow, that is very conceivably the nicest Benchmade Tengu you've ever done, but
yeah,
Yeah, so I can't get on board. It never really super appealed to me, and it just felt so like thick in the hand. Yeah, that was one where I very happily passed, so to
So
speak.
we're going dull on this one.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
going though. Yeah,
We'll
hundred
go to the
percent.
next one right now. This is the ProTech Runt 5.
That one is going to be very, very sharp.
Yes.
Yeah, this is. I happen to have one of these guys here. This is the
Nice.
Blade Show edition, but they're going to have. I just actually filmed my review of that this weekend, and it won't be out for a while yet because the knife itself won't be out in production for a while yet. But this is very sharp.
They
This
offered
is
that to a few people, right? That
yeah. These kind
mirror
of traveled the
the
review
blade.
circuit a little
Mhm.
bit, but they're good.
Yeah.
The Runt, and the funny thing is, the Runt is a model from Protec that I have freaking savaged in the past. I was
Mhm.
not kind to that knife, but they did all of the things it took to make that, go from something that was bad to
Wow, that
something that
sounds
is very
amazing
good.
too.
Yeah, the bronze with the Protec thunk, like
Wow. I like it.
oh,
I like it. It's
so sharp,
amazing.
sharp,
Yeah,
sharp,
it's a good
sharp.
one. I definitely I mean if autos weren't so ooh over here, like I
Oh,
have a few of the smaller Pro Techs and maybe even some of the launches from Kershaw, but
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
such a big
absolutely.
no-no here and carrying it would be
Oh,
kind of scary. So
yeah,
yeah,
that's the big
what are you gonna
downside
do?
of the autos. A lot of legal encumbrances.
So we're going sharp on the Runt 5.
Oh,
We'll keep going.
100%.
I don't know if you know about this knife here. This is the Williamson Copenhagen Red E, and these are their new models. It's a same Red E, but with different scale material and different blade steel. The question I wanted to ask was on Kickstarter right now, this is $46, I think. You're getting 14C28N with your scale and coating of choice on the blade. It is a really good access lock. This is one of my favorite knives that
Wow.
came out the year that the original Red E came out. But it is like I think 90 like 8 retail, but you can get in on it at 46. Like for me at
Oh, okay, okay.
$46, I'm gonna go sharp on it, but you got to get on that Kickstarter. But
Yeah, that's one of those things that's suspiciously cheap until you said that was the early access price. I'm like, oh, they're
mhm.
cutting corners in there, right? The washers must be like made of old clamshell packaging or something like that, or the
It
recycling
did
they
come in
claim there
clamshell
was.
packaging actually, which I hate.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Look, I haven't handled the original model.
Mhm.
I like seeing good stuff at the budget. Williamson has made some designs like he is a designer that I unquestionably respect, but whose language doesn't usually speak to me.
Mhm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
No beef. It's just personal aesthetic. But at the same time, yeah, at $40, I can see that being a choice. Getting closer
Cool.
to 80, 90. Well,
That's too much. I think it's too much.
14C28's okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really strong stuff at that range that it's like
Mm.
you're pushing me. I think that's not the range that you got to be in.
All right. So we're gonna go to the next one here. Wee Knife Banter.
The banter or the baby banter?
Well, you know what? This is the baby one, right? Oh wait,
I
is it
can't
the
actually
baby?
tell when it's closed.
I think this is the. You know what? It's one of the newer pictures in Wee Knife's Instagram, so it might be the baby. But
It
let's
might
go
be
with
the
the regular
baby.
one. Let's go
The
with the
regular
regular.
one. So I've got this is the Space Kitty one that I
Yes, I love
is
that
my
one.
door closed? Yeah, okay. This is going to go to my wife here eventually.
Mhm.
But I the banter is a knife that I think is very. I think it's sharp, but it's sharp for a very specific audience. It is a very basic knife, and I say that with respect. I don't know that for a lot of knife people, it's going to be the thing people reach in and grab, right? But at the same time, it's unquestionably well done, and it's something that I could hand to any number of family members, and they'd just be like, "Yeah, it's a knife, good, works well," right?
Yeah.
So, I think I said this in my review. It's like it is a very vanilla knife that is meant to be very accessible. And I think he did a good job in that way. Does it blow my skirt up? No, not particularly. This isn't a knife I'm going to reach in to carry, but at the same time, I can respect it and I can see that there are lots of people for whom it might be interesting. And the Space Kitty theme is amazing. That's unrelated, but people take this hobby way too damn seriously. I say as a guy who does, but like for every high speed, low drag tactical, gut bleeder 5,000, we need Space Kitty scales, right? That's a win to me.
All right.
So I'm going to go this one as sharp for the right person, right?
Nice. Nice. All right. So this is the last one. And
Uh-oh.
we'll go to verses. Okay. Spyderco sprint runs, sharp or dull?
Oh, sprint runs generally, or that
Yes,
particular?
sprint ones generally. I'm
Oh,
talking about
dull.
releasing the same knife in multiple steels and just kind of like, or different color combinations, different scales, just, Spyderco's thing, basically.
It is. Okay. What's your favorite ice cream?
I, you know what? I like cheese ice cream from the Philippines.
Cheese ice cream. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So, because it sounds tasty, delicious, rich, that kind of thing, all the things that you want out of an ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Spyderco Sprint Runs are your very favorite bowl of ice cream served every single meal, over and over and over and over and over again. Because it started off as a really good idea, but I think they've just reached the point where even the Sprint Run diehards, the people who, a year and a half ago were like visibly turgid in their Instagram posts advertising the next one, are just like, guys, come on, really? Because every dealer and their freaking mother has a new Spyderco Sprint post, and it's like, especially given the limited availability issues. I mean, like, okay, one that I did like actually recently was the River's Edge one here. That's going to be done many times. This is an exclusive, but not a sprint. So you'll be able to order this, each time it comes up again. That's a good idea. That way it just becomes another production knife. But the sprint market is, as far as I'm concerned, it is overplayed. They have milked that every last drop. And now because I'm like 6 months into the Spyderco year, and I haven't really given too much of a crap about much of anything they put out. All their catalogs are just like, hey, no steel variant. It's like, guys.
It's almost like you're playing it kind of safe.
Yeah, and it's not even safe, right? I mean, playing it safe would be continuing. They're just going all in on the sprinty thing, right? And, I think dealers have been ordering these for a long time, thinking, oh, wow, this market's hot. And I think we're going to see an era with a bunch of, sprints just sitting on shelves when people are just like, yeah, sure, it's a 20 CV, pair of two in, freaking avocado green. And, but past the point, I think even the collectors are starting to get fatigued with it. And at that point, a lot of people are going to be left holding some bags on this. Not a big fan of the idea at this point.
Yeah, I've always gone dull on it, but I think that's because I don't use my knives that much compared to other people that may need a more premium steel. I'm just flicking the damn thing open and looking at it. That's my knife journey, and that's where it is at the moment. Like I'll cut up boxes maybe once a month, and I'm like, oh, this is better than that one. Like,
Yeah.
But I don't notice it on a day-to-day.
The one exception I'll give where it is still sharp is where you get people who are re-releasing discontinued models as sprints. Because there we're actually gaining something, right? So the Slish Bowie is a good example. I'm sorry, Swish Bowie. And the Spyderco Tough actually, I think, just dropped today from somebody or another, which gives people a chance at a model that they wouldn't have gotten otherwise. That I think is cool. That's still bringing some value. But if you're trying to sell me another damn pair or two, we're done here. I'm sorry, no. I think everybody who wants 50 of them has 52 of them. Nice try. So I hope that market cools off and Spyderco goes back to making, other knives for a change, right?
Exactly. Like some new stuff that I just don't see a lot of new cool stuff from them.
Exactly. Yeah. And the funny thing is they've always been the company whose catalog where it's like, oh my God, stop whatever I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Like I can be between freaking meetings in the hallway and it's like, you know what? I can be late to this. I'm reading the PDF. And this time it's just been like, wow, did I just fall asleep? This year's been a really rough year for them in in catalog because it's all been sprinting.
Yeah, it's like there's no innovation where they used to have so much innovation every year where you're like, oh shit, that's so cool.
I mean, to be fair, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. They may have a killer catalog coming up, but oh boy, they've not been exciting. Certainly not been exciting me for the last little while. Which is a real shame because they're usually the company I find most exciting in the knife world these days.
Cool. So we'll go dull on sprint runs.
Oh, not even like dull, like unsharpened. Like, yeah, like they didn't even grind it. It's just like the blank off of water jet.
They just put like a piece of steel slab like in between scales.
Yeah, maybe they've rounded it. Although rounding it makes it sharper than I think sprint runs are right now. So I would Yeah, like it's a wedge outwards towards what you're cutting. Like
We're gonna play
that's where
this
I'd go.
new segment,
Oh
another
no.
new segment called Versus, where I put two knives against each other, and we're
Oh
gonna
boy.
kind of like talk, discuss like which is better. So, the OGs, we're gonna do the 940 and the paramilitary too.
I'm going PM2 on this. So I
Ah,
own both of these guys,
yeah,
obviously, because they're both, points of
they're
reference.
so
They're
iconic.
standards.
Like
Yeah, they
everybody
are.
knows that shape.
Exactly. And look, the 940 is a really nice knife in a lot of ways. And I think for a lot of people, it hits just right. Right. I think the green, the purple it's one of the better things Benchmade has made and continues to make. But the grind on it has never really super impressed me that much. And I think it's just one of those things that's like, okay, it's great. Now maybe try something a little new, try something a little different. And just in terms of if you told me, Nick, you can only carry one of these as a daily tool, practicality wise, I think the Para 2 just wins out in ergos. In I like the 940. I have a lot of enthusiasm for the knife, but I just no, the Para 2 is sort of the
Yeah.
welcome to the knife hobby. Here's your Para 2 knife for a reason.
That's
Um,
exactly how I felt about the 940 until I got one in my hand and I kind of understood why people like it so much. But when I was just looking at it, I'm like, this thing is like kind of ugly, man. Like I didn't
oh,
really get it.
I don't know. I kind of like it. I think but then again, I like a lot of ugly stuff, so we can deal with that. But no, I mean, I to me, it's really well tuned for like the REI. Is that a thing out your neck of the woods?
REI, that is my name except with an E.
Yeah, yes, but not referring to you in this
Okay.
particular case.
Right.
It's a Recreational Equipment Incorporated. Basically,
Okay.
it's a place where people who go to Whole Foods to buy groceries go to buy clothing, right? The guy who shows up, to the path in the park with hiking boots and, walking sticks.
Hmm.
It's that guy. Basically, it's a good store. I kind of shop there, but it's very much outdoorsy. It's very much there were lots of Priuses in the parking lot. I think the
It's like
940
a
is
what, like
really
a Cabela's or something, or
no, well, yes, but it's Cabela's, but without any hint
it's
of
like the
the.
Whole Foods of Cabela's. It's like a little
Yeah,
bit classier.
that's kind of nails it. Yeah, there's no guns, but again, that fits in with the Whole Foodsy thing.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like an outdoorsy store
It's
with
organic
climbing
knives,
and
organic,
like
non-GMO.
exactly, and they're very pleased that they're able to offer you equipment that helps you climb Everest and such. And it's like, buddy, I'm not climbing any damn thing. Like I climbed up the stairs to get in here. We're good for the day. What do you got for that? But anyways, I think they nailed that aesthetic very well with the purple. That's the green and the purple, by the way. But it definitely doesn't fit in as well, I think, compared to some of the other stuff out there.
Yeah. I've got one more verses for you, and then we'll
Uh-oh.
head on over to Are You Garbage? This is kind of like a question that I've asked Jared from Neves Knives before, and I'm very interested on your take on this.
Yeah.
The Civivi Elementum or the Civivi Nox? Like, which is the new budget king in their lineup?
Oh, I don't think
I'm
I'm not
talking
sure.
base level, not with any modifications or any of the new premium steels on it. I'm talking about
No.
base Nox, base Elementum.
I'm going to be honest. The Nox I've got has a terribly strong detent.
Really?
It's perfectly dialed in for a liner lock, but if
Yeah.
you have any pressure at all on the lock bar, this thing is
Oh,
going to be harder
man.
to get open than well, any number of things, right? So
That's
I feel
crazy.
yeah. So it's
The
to
one I
me at
have is
least
so good.
okay. Well, maybe I got a QC fail, but I'm not honestly. Frame locks are not that like frame locks are on the fade to me right now. I feel
Mhm.
like, and a steel frame lock is just like well, there's something you can do really well in titanium, and guess what? You can kind of make it happen in steel too. But to me, if I had to choose between the two, the Elementum wins every damn day of the week, and again on
Wow.
Sunday. The Nox is very thin, but it's also heavy. It's also I just don't. I don't particularly get that. Like, I get why they had to make this a thing. That way, people can say, "Oh, I got a frame lock," but it's like, dude, you don't want a steel frame lock. Haven't we learned this already? And so for me, the Elementum being liner lock, being with the variety they've got, I feel like this is probably a better knife for 90% of the world, even if I don't particularly care for the Elementum either. Um,
Ah,
it's okay.
it's kind of like the big like budget thing though. It's like get an Elementum if you're gonna spend what is it, $50 or something like that?
Yeah, but I got to be real with you. I don't see the Elementum beating the Rat too,
I
right?
like
I
the rat
mean,
too. I
yeah.
watched that video of you the Way of Knife EDC Gear House video you made
Yeah.
of that like premium Ratu, and I was like drooling and stuff.
Yeah, to me at least, I mean, the Elementum's good, no doubt. And if you
Mhm.
really like flippers, but it's just like I don't see what this is bringing to the table with the ugly ass lanyard hole. I
I
just
do
don't.
not like the lanyard hole. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, that's the very definition of like, somebody broke into the plant late at night from the lanyard hole mafia and made this thing happen and,
Mhm.
sabotaged the whole. I don't know. I The Elementum's a good knife. I can't
Mhm.
doubt that. But just if it comes to budget knives, I would never. I don't think there's anybody I would send here rather than someplace else. Right? It's solid, but it's also very vanilla, and there's just better, even from Civivi every damn day of the week.
Civivi has so many like budget knives that are good that it's kind of hard to. I mean, because they make the same knife, really. They just look
Yeah, yeah,
different.
yeah.
It's good action, some G10, some D2. Like that's a Civivi thing. That's why like the Nox really surprising because the one I have is really good. It's really dialed in. Lock bar pressure is not really a problem. And it's Nitro V at $63. So I was
That
like,
is
that's
nice.
kind of pretty good. I didn't face the issues of the lock bar pressure though. So
Yeah, I mean, maybe I just got a dud. Honestly, if I'm sending anyone to a Civivi right now, it's probably going to be the Ortis,
I heard
right?
that's a good one.
It is a really good one. It's relatively inexpensive. It feels pretty well thought out. It's got actual style to it rather than just feeling like, the Elementum feels like they merged 50 knives in Photoshop and came up with this, right? Whereas this feels like it was somebody sat down and said, "I'm going to make some small statement," right? I don't know. To me, that's where I would send people over either of your choices. But among the two, I like the Elementum way better because this guy just doesn't impress me too much. I see what they're doing, but I don't see why they did it.
All right, that's a good little two segments that we did there. I think I'm going to keep these segments going. They seem to be
Sure.
really good for the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we head into the Are You Garbage game, I do have my own garbage question
Oh, please
that I
ask
want
as
to
many
ask
garbage
you because
questions
this
as you'd
is
like.
something I was experiencing today.
Oh,
Do you have any pants with screwed up pocket clips like this, and do you keep wearing them?
oh yes. Oh
I
yes.
was wearing that today. It's so bad.
Yeah. Generally speaking, my point of failure it winds up not being the lip of the pants of the pocket. That is, so much as there have been a couple of occasions, especially when I'm carrying a prototype for somebody that's not quite dialed in. Where, for instance, and I'm picking this guy up just because it's on the table, where the knife very slightly opens in the pocket and ends up stabbing its way through the pocket outwards. So I have a couple of pants that have a little perforation right next to the clip area from that kind of thing. But aside from that, yeah, no, it's a thing. I think I try to keep the pants rolling, so to speak, such that it doesn't accumulate too much. The other advantage, though, I've got on that is
Mhm.
that so this is a weird thing that you're going to find out about me right here.
Okay.
In terms of actual full length pants, putting aside like formal occasion, suity style pants, I own exactly one pair of pants. Like I own 6 copies of the exact same pair of gray
I
pants.
do too. I like wearing
Okay.
the same jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
yep.
I just wear these things to death at a because it's the only thing I'm wearing on a regular basis. So by the time that the pocket's looking like that, the rest of the damn thing is too. And so, you know, it's not like any one piece is gonna, stick around in the state you're showing me here for weeks and weeks and weeks. It's days are numbered just because I'm gonna wear the little dudes into the ground, so to speak.
I've been wearing this pair for months. That's patreon.com/everydaycitycarry if you want help out with these jeans. Nick, do you have a microphone attached to your phone?
I do.
You do, and it's plugged in. Can you like make sure it's attached because I'm getting some feedback sometimes.
Let me try something a little different
Yeah,
here.
like do a wiggle or something, and then um, I started noticing it more and more, but maybe something's just loose a little bit. That's it. Hello? I don't hear you anymore. Oh shit. Nick, we are
Here.
okay. Are you there?
Hey, you with
Yes.
me?
Yeah. Okay, cool. All
Any
right.
better?
Yeah, it seems better right now. So do you know anything about this game, Are You Garbage?
You, I think, mentioned it maybe last time I was on the
Okay.
podcast.
All right.
And I am garbage in any variety of ways. So I feel like I'm about to be personally attacked, but let's go for it. I
That
mean,
is the first question actually of the game is, do you think you are garbage?
oh, yeah.
So the goal of the game is to not be a complete piece of trash. Shuffle the cards. Each player takes a turn pulling a card. All players answer all questions. Basically, you're going to be the only player today. Everyone has
Okay.
had a lot of fun with this game. And
Okay.
I just got the cards, I want to say a couple of, maybe like last month. These are the official cards from the podcast. Are You Garbage is a podcast by Kevin, James Ryan, and H. Foley. They do this much better than me, so please check their podcast out. They actually reposted my video, like unboxing these. They were like, "That's so cool." I'm like, "Dude, my whole channel is about this." All
Oh,
right, I'm
no.
gonna pull out something right now.
Okay,
Have
here
you
we
ever
go.
taken furniture from the trash?
Uh, Not from the trash per se, but like adjacent to the trash, absolutely. Like, okay, maybe this is, but that situation where there's something that's sitting next to the dumpster, where it's
Mhm.
like, and I think a lot of humans do this, where it's like, I don't want this in my life
I've
anymore, but I
definitely
feel
done it.
somebody else might. Yeah, I've gained a couple of things that way. 100. And as a matter of fact, one of them's in the room right now with me. So yes, garbage, 100% me. I clean them. I often do a little refurbishment to them,
Nice.
try and get them. But yes, 100%. There
Do a
is some
little bit of
garbage furniture in my
renovation.
life. Yeah, 100%.
All right, cool. Let's pick another card here. That goes in the trash, but that's a point for the trash pile, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
Have
First
you
of
ever
many.
been to a timeshare sales pitch?
Have I ever been to a timeshare sales pitch? No, I have not.
Lucky you.
Uh, no, I have very often, like, if I'm like waiting for somebody in a mall, I will bait the salespeople at the kiosks, just to keep them from harassing other people.
That's great.
But aside from that, no. And yeah, no, never did the timeshare thing.
Nice. Classy. All right. I've definitely gone to those. Have you ever used duct tape to fix your car?
Not today.
Like ever?
Oh yeah, no. 100% zip ties as well. Yeah, for a good while actually. The front of my car, like the front bumper, may or may not have had an encounter with a rock, a large rock in a parking lot. And as I was backing out, I didn't realize that was quite there. And so it was sort of hanging off. So a little bit of zip tiefication. And I think there
Mhm.
was some internal duct tape because I wanted to keep it classy. Held that bumper on for a number of years.
That sounds
That
like
was
an
a thing.
EDC win to me.
Oh,
A follow-up
absolutely. Look,
question.
no
Follow-up
shame.
question. Have you ever gone to a drive-through and had to open your car door to get your food because your window didn't roll down?
um, I feel like actually I have, but when was that?
That's
This
so
is
garbage.
this has been a thing.
Yeah.
I think maybe it wasn't a drive-through, but there was a situation for a little while where the electrical system in my car was not exactly in a past car was not exactly 100%. I want to say this was actually even more humiliating coming out of like a parking lot. So I'm interacting with somebody over a larger period of time, like exchanging currency, and I'm trying not to like slam it into the freaking side of the kiosk and anything. So yeah, that was yeah, that has been a thing for me. I'll admit this, unfortunately.
I've walked through a drive-through before and they told me I couldn't get food, so
I know what the heck is that, right? Or like a drive-through ATM. Like for a long time, my bank didn't have an ATM; they had a drive-through, so you have to like walk through, and I'll always like pretend I got a steering wheel, and I'm sitting here behind some little old lady in a car, and she's looking at me like, "You're gonna rob me, right?" And I'm like, "No, bro, I'm cool. Go ahead, take out your money."
All right, next question. Have you ever used the squeegee at the gas station to clean anything other than your windshield?
Uh Yes.
Like,
So I'm sorry if you'll bear with me for a moment. My wife and I, and my girlfriend at the time, were driving. We're doing a road trip. We were coming down from Great Falls, Montana, in towards Billings, and we end up stuck behind on a 2-lane highway. We end up stuck behind a gigantic horse trailer.
wow.
Like, and this thing must have been like 10, 12 horses. I have not seen a horse trailer this large since. And so we are driving behind this, and this is not, it's not going along particularly, not much horsepower in there. And suddenly we start getting all of this moisture on the windshield, and we see it splashing up, and it's oddly frothy for rain. And my wife and I are sitting there, like, looking out the window, like, but it's sunny. What the hell? And then we realized that what's going on is this trailer has a mesh bottom, and these horses are just letting freaking loose.
Oh,
Like, piss like a racehorse is a thing for a reason. And so we are driving. It's kind of like when you're behind a snowplow, sort of that. But we are driving in this cloud of just intermittent horse piss. Pardon my phrasing here. And the thing is, it's a 2-lane highway, and there were people coming, so we were stuck there for like 15 minutes. And so we got off the highway at the next sort of opportunity. And I remember pulling into a gas station and just looking at the front of my car that had just had a golden freaking shower for 20 minutes, and like using the gas station squeegee sort of affair, like on the headlights, trying to get them to a point where it's no longer quite so urea coated, right? And just like thinking the paint must not be loving this, because I don't know what's in horse piss, but I don't figure I'd put it on my car. So I feel like the answer to that being yes, but only because my car had a golden shower, is probably not making me less garbage, but maybe a little bit more so. So yes is the answer to that, unfortunately.
all right. Do you use colored Christmas lights?
Do I use colored Christmas lights?
I don't understand this question, actually, but the podcasters have said that classier people just use the white ones. But like, I don't know why.
This is actually the one case in which I might not be garbage today. And after the horse golden shower story, it's not sticking. But no, all of the lights that we have are white.
Wow. Classy. How did you grow up, by the way? Did you guys have like money? Are you like middle class? Like,
no, there was a little bit of money at one point in time. I have been downwardly mobile for most of my adult life, so I'm swinging back up, I hope. But yeah. So there was a little bit of cash around.
Nice. I can tell there's a little bit of class there, a little bit.
Well, I said cash, not class. Those are two different affairs, my friend. I'm not exactly Nick freaking Vanderbilt over here, right?
Do you know Backpack B?
What?
Backpack B is he's a knife reviewer, but he's like an Emmy award winning motion graphics specialist. He's like won like 2 Emmys. Yeah, he has a pretty small channel, but I've had him on here twice. He's like a good friend of mine.
Okay.
And this guy, I because he's like, I'm absolute garbage, but I definitely grew up with some cash. And he's like, my parents, I said, what kind of vacations did you have? And he said, my parents sent me to the Bahamas and they didn't even go. They just paid for me and my friend. I'm like,
get out of here.
Are you an aristocrat? Like, what the fuck?
Are you an aristocrat?
Yo, what the? All right, let's go to the next question here. Do you have an above ground pool?
Do I have a pool? This is freaking California. I'm lucky I don't have a fire at the moment. Let alone a freaking pool. No, I do.
Have you ever had one?
No, I have never had a pool.
We have one currently. It's Olympic swimming size.
In New York City. Is it one of those where the top of the side of it is plexiglass, so you look out at the New York like over the park, I'm sure, right?
I wish it was that cool. It's literally like, I forgot, it must be like Walmart or something, or like some kind of like camping store, but it's like so just imagine an oval pool that could fit like 30 people, and it's like supported by these plastic beams that you put into the ground. It's pretty trashy, but
oh wow,
no, it's a good swim. It like took up to here. So
there you go. See, yeah, that's the thing.
Me in the summer.
No, no hate on above ground pools. I just I am not that aquatic, I suppose.
Anyone in your family ever own a pontoon boat?
Own a pontoon boat? No, I don't think so,
All
actually.
right.
But I was landlocked growing up, so that wasn't really. I've driven a pontoon boat, so that might. But I
Dude, what is
mean,
a pontoon boat? Like, what are you doing?
oh, it's just like picture two gigantic foam-filled shafts, if you will, and then put a little deck between the
It's
two
like
of
the
them.
two sides
Yeah,
are
and then
like
a
these
motor in the back.
like floatable things.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Ah,
like picture
okay.
those really nice aerodynamic
Yeah.
boats that are like cigarette boat
Yeah.
style, and with think the opposite of that. This is like the minivan of boats,
Yeah.
right? They're effective. They get the job done, but
Yeah.
they're not. Yeah.
I was gonna say it's pretty trashy.
No, I don't think there's anything trashy about it. It's just like I don't think there were that many kids growing up looking at Pontoon Boating magazine, picking out their dream. But maybe there are. I don't know. There could
I
be
had
a
another
whole tuna culture.
I had another guest on here that was like, yeah, we had what the fuck? Like a boat house. It like floated on the lake and shit. I'm
Boathouse.
like, what? What the hell?
Hey, good
Uh,
on him. Glad
did
they
your
enjoy it.
family use Miracle Whip?
Uh, we have some in the fridge downstairs right
Oh,
now. So,
no Hellman's? Miracle Whip is the
I'm
fake
sorry.
stuff.
Hold on. What the hell is Miracle Whip?
It's mayonnaise, not Cool Whip.
Cool Whip is the one I'm thinking of. Okay,
Okay.
woo, saved, not garbage.
Not garbage.
No, I'm not a big mayo person, generally
Okay.
speaking. The clinic's good, but the rest of it, my wife does though. She gets some weird ass pretentious mayonnaise with
Like
like olive
artisanal?
oil. No, it's like still Hunt, so it's coming out of the same machine, but they put like with olive oil or something on the side of it. I don't get it, but
Hey,
I
Miracle Whip
love
is
it.
the fake stuff, so that's the trash stuff. The
Oh,
fake,
okay. Well,
yeah.
I mean, it's all chemistry at this point. Who knows what's fake anymore?
Have you ever gone to a wax museum on a family vacation?
An advice of counsel, I decline that question. Yes, 100%.
All right. Let's do this right here.
But when I go on vacation, the Batman poses with me. Anyways, I digress.
Have you ever had a taquito from 7-Eleven? I'm going to say no on that because you're vegetarian, right?
No, I don't believe I have. I've
Okay. Good.
even pre-vegetarianism. I know, like I'll hit the heck out of a churro from Costco, but I feel like that's a level up. So no.
Yeah, it's definitely a level up. Let's do a couple of more questions here, then we'll get to
Sure.
some fan ones, all right?
Yeah, I'm still garbage.
Any of your homes ever have green carpeting? That's pretty trash, but
No, but that's I don't even know, like AstroTurf, but not good AstroTurf, like the stuff that you buy on a roll at Home Depot that's like green and you can tell
inside?
it's just mountain. No, not inside, but like on the like a patio area. No, I'm garbage,
Like
but not that
soccer on
bad.
the indoors.
No, that was just like outside. But my folks were gardeners, so
Yeah.
there was that was where their class showed up. But yeah, there was definitely that, but never green interior carpet that I can think of.
I'll
No.
do a follow up to that.
Uh-oh.
Have you ever had a toilet seat cover that was carpet? They do exist. Not the toilet, not the seat cover, the actual seat where you sit on, not the toilet bowl cover.
What? No.
They have that. It's
Right?
pretty
No.
disgusting. I've never had it, so
No.
You
No. That's a freaking war crime. No. Why?
Okay. It was one of the questions, and I was baffled by it myself. But I googled it. And they do.
What do you do? Rent a carpet cleaner when it's time to? I mean, what the?
It's some people. Maybe you just shake it out.
I
nasty.
Shake it out. Let the
It's
buildings
nasty.
go flying. No. Ew, no. I don't.
One of
want
the
that
basic
knowledge.
questions is: have you ever had milk with dinner?
Yes, way back when, before I became intolerant of your lactose. But yeah.
Oh man! Like if you weren't lactose intolerant, would you have it now?
No, I was never that big of a milk fan, even before it started.
Yeah, I told
attacking
the
me.
story many times, but the first time I experienced this phenomenon was with a Italian Catholic family. I was in Catholic school. I was in the 3rd grade or something. They invited me over, and I stayed over a little bit later. It was like 6 p.m. It got dark already, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, "You want to have dinner?" They served spaghetti, and they gave me milk as a beverage.
Oh,
And I was like, "What the fuck?" But it's apparently like part of Americana. Like a lot of families,
really?
like Zach stuff was like, "Yeah, I love milk." Neve's Knives is like, "Oh yeah, give me the blue top or the red top. Red top is whole milk. Blue top is like the skim milk or whatever." And I'm like, "That's nasty, bro."
The other day, I was walking out of the grocery store, or walking into the grocery store. That is, this little old lady,
Yep.
little tiny thing with a little tiny buggy. You know, the old lady buggies that have like one cart for one eggplant.
Mm-hmm.
She walks out of the grocery store. She gets like 10 feet. Then she busts out the jug of milk. And I'm not talking like one of them little screw top delicate. I'm talking the full freaking milk jug. And she just takes a hit on this giant ass jug of milk 10 feet away from the door to the grocery store, like leaning up against the wall. Like that was a thing she'd been waiting for all month. And it was just like, wow, wow, well done, lady.
I mean,
You
with the
do you.
pastry, maybe I'll have milk. You know?
Milk and cookies,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
But no, I absolutely not. No.
Like for refreshment though, like I don't think I would do that. That's
no,
nasty.
I'm good. Thank you.
I'm gonna do my own follow-up question here. You know what? Let's do two more because there are a couple of funny ones that are not in the cards that I have here. And I think these are gonna be no's, but has anyone in your family ever been involved in a monster truck show?
Involved in a monster truck show? That's gonna be a no.
Okay.
I don't think. Yeah.
Have you ever been hypnotized? Like in a show or something, and like
like a carnival or something. No, I am a little bit too much of a control freak for that, my friend.
All right, we're gonna do one final question. You are eating chicken wings. These are the soy ones, right? Okay, you're eating chicken wings and realize you have to pee. You're not at home. You're in a restaurant. Do you head to the bathroom? Do you A, wash your hands first, then pee, or B, pee first, then wash your hands?
Oh, wow. This is an interesting problem.
I wrote this one.
Do you pee first? Because then the question is like,
I'm talking like you gotta go. Like it's bad.
Oh God. Once we're an emergency country here, it's just like, do I? And the other question I imagine, and given I don't eat chicken wings, so, but if you're doing the really buffalo spicy, like there are certain chemicals that I don't want in the vicinity of my junk that might inspire me to or at least like rinse off one hand real quick before you run over there. Like you're unzipping as you rinse it. If it's going to be a photo finish, I don't know. I would probably be retentive enough that I would wash my hands, pee, then wash my hands.
You actually answered the follow-up question, which was if you chose A, which was wash your hands first, then pee, do you wash your hands a second time?
Yeah, probably. Just out of pure respect. I don't know that everybody else needs to have my wang on whatever surfaces they contact either.
I've had guests that said like, nope. and Zach was like, that's why we have COVID.
Yeah, that pretty much works, right? Yeah, I mean, and I guess it's a good operating principle that usually it's going to be pretty clean down there, right? But at the same time, this is like a what is it? Categorical imperative. Act by with that maxim which you would wish to be universal law. Like, I don't want you to touch that bus guard or handrail after having just grabbed your wang. So I'm going to do the same for you, my friend.
I usually wash my hands like right after and before. That's what I would try to do. But if I had to really piss my pants, I think that I'm gonna risk junk sting.
Oh yeah.
If I really had to pee, because I've done like the hot ones challenge where I ate those chicken wings. I've done it 2 times already, and I ate the Pocky one chip challenge. I did that too. So I'm good with the spice, but I know that when you get your hands like that, I think I would risk the sting because at least I wouldn't piss my pants. You know what I mean?
Well, exactly. It's like, and that's always the question here. You got those dueling constraints of like, would I rather piss myself right now or X? Or the corollary, would I rather crap myself or X, right? So it's just like there's a whole lot of stuff I would be willing to do in order to not crap myself. And yeah, so that's a thing, right?
All right. We're going to get to some fan questions now. This is from, up and coming like knife reviewer Little Fit Devil, who is the new
Okay.
Microtech social media manager.
Absolutely,
Apparently.
yeah.
What is
was great.
Batman's best quality?
His vast reserves of cash, or Alfred, actually.
Yes.
I would say. I mean, that's the funny thing about Batman as a superhero, is like his biggest source of superhero-ness is his wealth.
Yeah.
Right? Like Iron Man's really, really smart.
Mm-hmm.
So he can at least rig some of this stuff up. With
Yeah.
Batman, I kind of get the impression it's like this is a guy with a lot of money and a bunch of military surplus. And given ninja training in the new one, but I don't know, that to me, I think, Alfred is probably the reason he's as sane as he is, right? As somebody with daddy issues, like that kind of a nice background that can help. But yeah, so I would say the vast cash reserves are the thing that keeps Batman in business, so to speak. But yeah, I think having those connections, Alfred, Robin, that kind of thing, it's a beautiful
How could
thing.
like not even one billionaire in the world today chose to be Batman, like, or something? Like, not even one?
Yeah, but then you look at what it takes to be a billionaire right now.
You could learn all martial arts from like the best masters in the world and become this, because your money is just rolling in. Like, you don't even have to do anything anymore.
Yeah. At a certain point, it's just like you literally could not spend it. Yeah, and yet we have some trending towards supervillain, which is cool. And it's like you would really think that would be out there, but maybe there's just not that many civically minded billionaires running around the place at the moment. Or maybe they're just being very quiet about it. We don't know, right? That's the thing.
Who's the worst out of these three? Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, Zuck. 100%.
Okay, cool. I knew you were going to say that. I wish I had this video set up where it was a guy and it was like America, like 2056 or something. And this guy is like, I just want to open up a lemonade stand. And then it's like King Ghidorah from Godzilla, except the heads are Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Mark Zuckerberg. And he's like, I just, just a little stand. I want to do it. It's for fun. And Elon's like, what is fun? And Mark Zuckerberg is a snake. And he's like, why don't you use Facebook Marketplace? I don't have it though. But all right, let's get to another question here. This one seems logical. The best commenter on YouTube. I say that so many times. He sent like pages of questions here.
Excellent.
First, he wanted me to tell you that, have you ever heard that you sound like a horse track racing announcer?
Well, clearly I was on my way to the race behind that trailer, so sure. I'll take it.
What was the nicest act of goodwill that Nick has seen happen within the knife community?
Nicest act of goodwill. Oh, that's really tough, right? So the nicest act of goodwill, I'm being a little circumspect here just because I don't want to reveal too much in the way of information, but I'm aware of a group of people who actually, a young man was in a very abusive household and was a member of a community within the knife world, and actually not only arranged a way for this kid to get out of that, he was above 18 and whatnot, but arranged a means for this kid to get out of that, but then housed him for months got him. I mean, that's as somebody who feels very strongly in favor of things like domestic violence shelters, and also understands that it's often very difficult for men to get resources in that world, just because most of the things are not set up that way. This was not just like a donation of some cash, right? It's very easy to, throw some money from your PayPal account if you're already doing pretty well financially. But this was time, this was effort, this was risk, this was pain, this was, inviting somebody into your home for a while to get him back on his feet. That is, to me, 100%. It's very micro, right? I don't think more than a few people know, anybody who I'm talking about here. But at the same time, when I saw this, sort of go down in a community I'm adjacent to, it was like, holy shit, that's
That's
a real thing.
incredible.
Yeah, and so that's not to dismiss the people who raise great money for people who do, great charitable work, that kind of thing. But to me, that one takes the cake. And I think that's a service, so to speak, that, you have to be very cautious with, but that can make all the difference in the world for somebody. And so that one, for me, is going to win by a very considerable margin, even if, I can't give too much detail and it wasn't anything public, right?
So this is another question. This one is from Matt Zemansky. Okay. How many people have Nick Shabazz tattoos that he knows of? Also, favorite knife in D2 blade steel.
Okay, how many people?
Kind of a fun question.
Yeah, those are. By the way, I'm loving the also there. Where it's just like first tattoos, then D2. Okay, tattoos. I only know of one at the moment. And I'm fine with that, right? It still blows me away that any person felt strongly enough about my channel and brand. The guy had a bunch of other knife-related tattoos, so I wasn't like the first tattoo, but it was
at the gem logo on his back.
He got the full logo actually on his leg. He got the full.
That's cool.
Hair. Yeah, no, I mean, it was incredibly flattering, right? I mean, this kind of thing, basically. It was just like, wow, how have I meant this much to somebody I've never met? Frankly, have I met this much to somebody I have met, right? My own wife doesn't have a Nick Shabazz tattoo. But no, I mean, so at that level, it was very, honestly, kind of humbling, just like, whoa. But yeah, that's the only one I'm aware of. Maybe there were others out there, and I'm not, by the way, necessarily encouraging that. I'm not going to say don't, but at the same time, yeah, there were many great causes to contribute your valuable skin.
That's amazing, man.
On. Yeah, it is. It's like, oh my God,
that's incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, favorite knife in D2.
Well then, favorite knife in D2 steel.
That's so hard. I would say Elementum, I guess, the base one. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, the base Elementum ain't bad. I'm looking at my budget knife drawer right now. One that came on my desk recently that's actually quite good is this guy right here. This is the CRKT Cinco.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a Richard Rogers design. It's actually in D2. They did a really nice job with it. It's an unassisted flipper with nice ergos, nice and small, steel bolster lock, liner lock. I'm not sure quite what to call it, but either way, it's a whole affair. But it's shockingly nice. And it was one of those where I got it. I was like, okay, whatever. And then I carried it. It's like, oh. And then I remember writing the review. I'm like, wow, I don't have a lot to complain about. Then I saw the price of $50. I'm like, whoa, it's like the meme with Vince McMahon, right? Like, oh, man.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah, exactly. And so by the end of the review, it's like, well, holy crap, this is a gem. Okay, cool. So this isn't my favorite of all time, but it is pretty good. I'll also say in terms of D2, I mean, a lot of custom makers have done a lot of really good stuff with D2. And frankly, even in terms of high-end knives with D2, that is kind of Medford's jam, right? And so the Slim Nitty is not a bad knife. I would probably not do it in D2, but that is a person who has pushed D2 to the highest price limits, so to speak. Justifiably or not, you can make that call. But yeah, so I'd say, but for me, probably recently the Cinco. Otherwise, there are a bunch of other things out there in D2 that it's kind of a dime a dozen these days.
Hard to narrow it down.
I think the Ortis is D2, or maybe it's 9CR or something. Who the heck knows with Civivi anymore?
I know, right?
Just like, what did we find at the foundry this week?
It's like, what's on sale at the market today?
Exactly. Like they're in the Steel of the Month club where they just get a pallet of it delivered.
It's like a battle box for like OEMs.
No? Exactly. Yeah. Like, wow, this month we get Nitro V.
That's so fun. Zach Stuff asks what your travel EDC gear is. Like, if you were going somewhere, what's your typical thing that you know you're going to bring? I went to North Carolina recently to meet the Kelly's family because I'm getting married. And
congratulations.
Thank you. And I brought like 4 knives or something. I didn't really, and just my typical, small Olight i5T and some other stuff, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
What do you normally like to carry?
It really depends on kind of where I'm going, right? But one of my very easy travel choices is the Spyderco Dragonfly, right? It's very small.
Nice.
It's likely to be legal in a lot of places. It's unobtrusive. It's good. It'll last a while. The Dragonfly is definitely a knife I enjoy traveling with. What else? Recently, the most recent little road trip I took, I actually ended up taking the Quiet Carry Drift with me because
Ooh.
it's just another really good little knife, right? And so when I was heading to a coastal area, he says living in San Diego, so I'm in a coastaler, if you will.
Coastaler.
Yeah, I was in a coastaler area, and so I figured why not have something completely rust proof for my dry land, and then yeah. Otherwise, like if I'm going someplace that is, for instance, where I might not expect, where for instance, luggage theft is a real risk, I might grab just like a Rat 2 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Because, a Rat 2 D2 is going to be a perfectly fine knife from the entire trip. It's not going to leave me wanting, so to speak. But at the same time, if I lose it, it sucks. I'm out $40, but I'm out $40 rather than out $300. And similarly, watch wise, I've got a little, Citizen BMW 8180 kind of affair that's, reasonably inexpensive, but it's still all the watch I could need. Whereas, if I'm going someplace fancier, I might do like the Formex or something like that, Omega.
Nice.
Yeah, you got to calibrate it, right?
We're gonna go with one final question from me with
Sure.
Knives Mark, one of my favorite people. He asked favorite knife, flashlight, and ink pen currently, and also did he replace his Olight Warrior Mini yet?
Okay. Olight Warrior Mini. Did I ever have one of those?
That's what he said. I mean, he pays attention, this guy.
Olight Warrior Mini. The problem with Olights is it's just like I don't know which one it is anymore. It's the one with the blue on it someplace and the black aluminum and the emitter that's got okay color temp. It's like Olights all run freaking together at this point. No, I don't really carry any Olight products on a regular basis. If anything, the flashlights I'm liking these days are like Through Night, Tip, SE, or the 10,000 lumens, the M10K or something like that. Or, I got other options here. I've been carrying this little Lumen Top dude
I
recently.
like that one.
It's dumb. The real interface is terrible, but it's a high Cree lamp, so I'm okay with it.
I
Right?
like that one. I have it as my kind of like emergency one in my bag because I carry the i5T by Olight, and that's like what I have like in my pocket usually, in a little niche thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think is that this? No, that's the I1R.
I have that one too. I have that one on my keys.
Yeah, no, I haven't been doing that much work with Olight lately because they're just they're a little boring, and B, they're very needy. Right? Like as a reviewer,
I'm very needy as a reviewer. I'm hitting them up like, hey.
Yeah. And they love it, right? But it's just like there are companies where their social media managers are on you like a freaking tiger, and it's like, dude, I have a day job. Like, and they we're gonna need 3 Instagram mentions. Like, dude, no. Absolutely not. Screw you. If you want to promote our giveaway, like if I did that, then I would be promoting everybody's giveaway, and you don't want that any more than I do. So I'm a diva. That's the way to read that answer. But favorite, what was it? Knife and pen as well,
like
right?
A pen. Like what kind of pen? I know you do pens sometimes. So.
I do pens sometimes. The biggest, sort of the one that ends up in my pocket most of the time, is actually in the other room at the moment, but I think I have a different version of it around here somewhere. Oh, come here, freaking pen pile over here.
Wow.
I have too many pens, my friend.
Dude. What's the total value of that little valet right there?
I would really rather not speculate on this on advice of counsel. No, it's gonna be up there a little bit. No, it's the classic. Oh, come off it, Nick. You know this. The not Through Night. Machine Era Classic pen. There we
Gotcha. Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot of people like that one.
yeah, it's just so good for the price. And then if I'm, going fancy, like Shown Design Pocket 6 is great. Favorite knife is difficult.
Like currently, like pick one from what you have on your table right now.
From what I've got on my table right
Yeah,
now.
right now. What's in front of you?
I mean, the Sleesh Bowie is my long-term favorite. Like, I like carrying most of these. Like the Tactile Knife Co. is really good. The MBK, the Easy C version. I have 3 different versions of this exact same pattern knife, so that clearly means something. The Whippersnapper from Alamix, great. There's a lot of gems here. I can't freaking pick a favorite at this point. Maybe the Delica and K390 would be a really good play. I have a whole video on knives I could stop with.
Yeah.
That kind of answers this, I think. But I don't know that I can pick a favorite fairly, right?
I can't.
I've tried a bunch of times.
Every time something comes, in that's new, and I'm like, oh, and then I'll revisit something from the vault in my collection, of my small vault, but then I'll be like, oh, I love that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I think in my case, it's easier to kind of know what the least favorite ones are, kind of the ones that are probably working their way out of the collection at some point in time. But that's sort of a different question entirely. And, usually the favorites are just the things that have stuck around longest.
I have some clips here before I let you go, because one of the things I try to do is to convince people that TikTok is awesome. So this is not a TikTok, this first one, but it was just like a crazy story. I don't know if you've watched this clip before. I'm sure it's gone viral, but it is insane.
Oh no,
dude,
no,
it is so.
Oh,
the little girl is fine, by the way, so don't.
Yeah, I know, but
this is. Look, they didn't even notice.
Oh,
look, I'm like, yo.
What are you even doing? And this guy standing there is just like,
how many blocks have they gone? There's cars honking at them.
Yeah,
tell them like, hey, you have a kid. She's fine by this. She didn't get
of course.
Stuff, but because I probably wouldn't have shown that. But this is a little.
Oh man.
I'm just like, I can't even believe. Look, I think the kids are trying to tell them, maybe. Look, they finally notice, I think, right now.
Yeah. Oh, and the cars are honking at him like, oh my god, what
are you doing?
Yeah, oh my god, is
right. Now, do you think fired?
For the bus driver?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's gotta be fired, right?
I'm one of those people.
She seems like a nice lady.
Seems nice, and look, are you really expecting it? But it's like, wow, that was not a great moment for you. And I would probably, if I were that bus driver, I probably would have quit. Right, like that would have been traumatic, I feel like, for me. So I'm not going to sit here and say I demand their head, but at the same time, oh boy, that's a bad look. And
it is bad. These other ones are probably funny. I'm expecting.
Yeah, I hope so. Good God, man.
I actually don't know what a lot of these are, because what I do when I collect clips from this is I will just download a bunch of things that I liked. I'll put them in a folder, and I usually check them out. This is the format of my live show, and people really enjoy it.
Yeah.
But these, when you download a video from TikTok, it is labeled in like just numbered and lettered gibberish, so I don't know what anything is. All right?
Yeah, sure.
Get your black ass in the line! Fucking black bitch! Get your ass in the line!
Oh my god! Sorry. I think that was from my Patreon.
I think that might have been. Wow.
Hey, I didn't make that. I didn't make that video, but I think Jeff Bezos, that's what Amazon factories are like, man.
Unfortunately, why my mail person did this. A hotbed of workers' rights from the
this is a funny one right here. Okay. I really like this a lot. This has to do with receiving packages, and we all do that.
Oh yeah.
And this is just one person's experience.
Can you tell me why my mail person did this? Can you tell me why? Why did this happen? Oh wow, that's a very tight fit. They really parked that Big Mac truck right in this little garage. I'm
Oh shit. I just realized that Nick is gone for some reason. And I'm gonna see what's up. Hey Nick, did you have to go? Have to go. You logged off. I'm sorry about that, guys. He has logged off for some reason, and I don't know why. I'm just messaging him right now just to see what's up. But that is a pretty funny.
not even upset. I'm impressed. Sorta.
The Nick is back.
Yeah, I have no idea what just happened, but
That's okay. I
Safari
messaged you
just crashed
on.
on me.
Let's move on to one more clip because I watched that on the show already. Sorry
But
about that, guys.
I gotta be honest, I'm not that perturbed by that because I'm thinking like I'm just gonna grab like chopsticks if I know what's in there and just like thunk thunk pull.
Yep.
Like I would live with that, right?
I was thinking this, like I would just get a Leatherman and poke holes in it and just pull it out. That's what I was thinking about doing.
Or cut a
See,
little hole
EDC guys
in the
don't
side
have
of
that problem.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't have
Like,
that. We
buddy,
solve things with duct tape.
Yeah,
and
duct tape would work.
zip ties.
Duct tape could work there too, right?
Let me see. What is man? I remember it was slim pickings in TikTok today. There wasn't a lot of stuff. So
slim pickings.
Oh, this is all right. So, are you fine with really gross shit?
Oh, good Lord, popping. Yeah, you can go for it.
This is the grossest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, that has to be fake. I'm sorry.
Is it? But dermatologists all over TikTok.
Oh, I know that popping.
They've been reacting to this, and they said it's real.
You go somewhere else.
Okay. Wow.
Oh my
God.
He needs some assist with that cyst.
Needs some assist. Dude, look at this dude's arm. And the little baby is like, that's not good.
Yeah, that, my friend, is that's problematic. I am well, hey,
you know what?
I
actually took it easy on you because it's usually much worse, the videos. I didn't want to get that many. I didn't want to gross you out too much. Like,
yeah, it is literally about to be dinner time, so
I had to put some respect on the name, the Shabazz name. You know what I mean? I had to be like, all right, let's not push him too much. But thank you.
Finally,
so
I get respect. No,
thank you so much for doing this, man. It was a lot of fun.
Here.
And anytime you want to do anything, of course, you're welcome to hop on.
If I have a really good arm zit, I'll come on the show.
Oh
and
my God.
Go for you. Do the crossover, right? Because I've already got the watchmaker's tweezers right over here for bearing disassemblies, so I feel like we're not far off. Right?
That's the next disassembly video. It's like assist.
Yeah, how to disassemble and maintain whatever the hell that thing is. Yeah.
Oh man. Thank you so much. Everybody follow Nick if you don't. I mean, come on, Nick Shabazz everywhere, YouTube, Instagram. Just follow him on there.
I was going to say everybody should follow you, but too late. Yeah, Patreon is too. This guy, Patreon him.
Patreon.com/everydaycitycarry so I can get a new pair of jeans. But this is your boy in the NYC and the Nick Shabazz saying peace and good night.
Yo, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell icon so we can squad up in the comments.